What's good, y'all? About to drop a video real quick. I know I'm a few days late. Today, I normally would be at work, but I took some time off. I took the next 2 days off. Needed time to myself because I have some things I'm about to get to when I get back. I'm about to grind it out. I got shit I'm trying to do. And I need time to myself. Sometimes it be like that, if you ever feel, I'm gonna say this first before I start my video. If you ever feel like you need time to yourself, if you feel overworked or overwhelmed, or you just need a woo-saw type of moment, go ahead and take that moment. You ain't gotta ask nobody for no permission. You ain't gotta do none of that shit. You ain't gotta explain to nobody why. Like, like I tell y'all all the time, a huge part of our purpose, everybody has a purpose. A huge part of our purpose is to serve. If you are not at your best, then you're not gonna be able to serve. Okay? You can't serve nobody if you're not at your best. And sometimes to be at your best requires you to take some time to yourself. Even if you're in a relationship, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? A relationship, that's a whole balance type of thing. You need time together and you need time apart. That's important. Especially if y'all both trying to build an empire and shit. Y'all can't really get no real money, no real bag, if y'all can't get up out each other's ass. That's another topic for another day. But anyway, so I'm taking the next 2 days off to just, clear my head and prepare myself for what I'm about to do. But today I wanted to make a video before I get my day started. I want to make a video, and I titled it, Get Up and Make the Bed. I don't know, y'all probably like, what the fuck? But yes, get up and make the bed. Get up and make the bed together. What I mean by this is I'm talking about people who are, and you're in a relationship, whether you're married or, just a regular ass relationship. Um, it is important. It is so important that when you are in a relationship, that you understand that the problems that come, the hurdles that y'all have to jump, the mountains that y'all have to climb, it is important to understand that it is you two against the problem. It's not you versus them. I'm going to say that again. It is both of you versus the problem, and not you versus each other. Y'all are supposed to be a team. At the end of the day, you're supposed to be a team. And I know it's easier said than done, depending on the circumstance that y'all may be dealing with, because I feel like it's in the human nature. Like when you're in a relationship, to just automatically be each other's opponents, or you automatically just gotta feel like you have to be right, or you automatically just have to argue your point. And ain't nothing wrong with speaking on how you feel, but it does matter how you address the issue. You know what I'm saying? It does matter how y'all look at the circumstance or the problem. Your perspective is everything in a relationship. You picking and choosing your battles in a relationship is everything. Just because you're with somebody and they make you mad or they disappoint you, it doesn't really mean that you have to bring it up all the time. If you feel in your heart that even though they may have disappointed you, or they may have made you mad, if you know in your heart that you're not going to go nowhere, then it's safe to say to just let that shit slide a little bit. You know what I mean? But the thing about making the bed together, and this is something that I learned years ago, and I didn't understand it. When I heard it, I'm like, what? But when they explained it in the video, it talked about how when you make the bed together, it is a reminder that you are a team. Meaning that no matter what y'all went through the night before or the day before, no matter how mad you may be at your partner, no matter how disappointed you may be at each other about some things, you still get up in the morning and you make the bed together. You still both fluff the pillows. You still both lay the sheet out. The sheet that you lay on, lay it out, make sure it's even and tuck it up under the damn mattress and shit like that. Put the comforter on top and then anything else on top of the comforter. But you make the bed together. You ain't got to really talk about it. There's nothing to really talk about at the time. You just simply make the bed. And if you notice, depending on your connection with that person, y'all can be mad at each other for whatever reason. Y'all can be disappointed at each other for whatever reason. But if you really pay attention, this is how you know your connection with that person is real. Even in your silence, during a time where you're disappointed, where you're angry, even during that time where you have no words to say, if you pay attention, if you got a real ass connection, y'all gonna really make that bed up. Like, that bed gonna look good as fuck. It's gonna look good as fuck. Like, y'all just gonna, like, it's like a spiritual, universal type of chemistry that you have with this person. You might know that, okay, they about to fold their side first, or okay, they about to put that side on first, and no, they know I'm about to put this side on. Like, it's really like that. Like, if you really pay attention to it, and y'all can be mad at each other, but it's something about making that bed together. Before y'all get up, go brush y'all teeth and start y'all day and tend to the kids, get up and make y'all bed. Make the bed together. And pay attention to how the bed is made. Pay attention to the communication that y'all have with each other without actually speaking the words. And look at the end result. Look how good that bed look. Y'all didn't speak to each other. Hell, y'all rarely looked at each other. Y'all just made the bed, and it was a real ass teamwork. There was no communication needed. That's how you know that shit is real. You have to understand that when you're in a relationship, you are partners. You are partners. For you men out there, the ones who, the masculine people, even, the studs that play the masculine role, the dominant role, your woman is your helpmate. So although you may take the lead, a lot of times there's going to be some shit that you come across in your life as y'all both taking this. Like I said, you have a journey and they have a journey. It makes like this triangle. At the base of the triangle, that's God and the universe. That's your foundation. You're on your own fucking path, and they're on their own fucking path. And as y'all travel y'all paths separately, eventually you'll come to a point where y'all meet. You know what I'm saying? You'll meet. It's like a triangle. Picture a triangle with God and the universe as the foundation. Your partner on one side and you on the other side. And that line, both them lines that help come to a point, that's your path in your personal life, and that's their path in their personal life. And at some point, y'all gonna come to a point. Y'all gonna meet together. That's why it's important that when you're in a relationship, you understand boundaries, and you understand, there's a time to come together, and then there's a time to be apart. Because all of it is important. All of it is important. And you can't forget that. And you can't forget that in the process of you being on your path and them being on their path, y'all are going to go through some things individually. And this is when your relationship can get rough. Because your partner can go through some shit that just mentally fucks with them so bad that when it comes to your relationship, it feels like they're checked out. And you're like, what the fuck going on? You know what I mean? Like, it feels like they're checked out from the relationship. And it's not that they're checked out from the relationship, but what they're dealing with as an individual is so strong that they trying to figure it out. And you got to understand that when y'all both go through that shit, because you both will. Because life has its way of dealing with, with everybody. And even though you call yourself being one with the person, both of you are still growing individually. As lessons that you have to learn and as lessons that they have to learn. But these lessons that you both learn individually is going to benefit your relationship in the long run. And it's sad because a lot of times, especially our generation, the younger generation, we tend to just give the fuck up on who we dealing with. And then we feel like just because we leave they ass alone and decide to deal with somebody else, that things will get better, when that's not the case. Because the truth of the matter is, no matter who you decide to be with, no matter who you decide to fuck with, you're going to go through some shit. And that's why, if y'all ever heard before somebody say that, when it comes to relationships and dealing with people, you look at the good and the bad of a person. And you have to decide at that point, especially when it comes to the bad, especially when it comes to the negative, is that something that I can deal with? Is that something that I can handle? Because that shit about them is something that they have to take initiative in and changing. Because it's negative. But can't nobody make that change but them. That's between them and God and the universe. You feel me? But you have to decide if that's something you're willing to deal with, or you're willing to work with. And if you're not, you have to be honest with yourself about it. And that's why, if you ever heard people say, you got to pick and choose. Pick your poison. Because we all have toxic ways. We all have toxic things about us that can, disturb the relationship that we have with another person. But you have to pick your poison. Because no matter who you get with, you can run from this person all you want. That's your choice. But you have to understand that the next person you deal with, the next person you get with, is going to be some shit with them too. But you also have to understand that that's just the nature of a relationship. If you can't handle something, then you can't handle something. If something is too much, then it's just too much. But you have to understand that you have to be honest about it. And you got to be real with yourself about it. And if you feel like it's best for you to walk away, then you have to do what's best for you at all times. But there is also a benefit that when you pick your poison and you decide that once you pick it, you're willing to figure it out along the way. You willing to do what it takes to make sure y'all can get on the same page in areas where y'all not, because you're not always going to be on the same page about things, and that's okay too. But if both of you are willing to sit there and figure things out, despite how it makes you feel, then you're going to be okay. There is a benefit to it. There is a blessing to that shit. And you can tell, like, that's why me personally, I admire, like, the older couples. Because when you look at them, their energy, you can just tell, like, they are so secure within their relationship. They're so secure within their relationship. And it amazes me because I know that shit took time. I know that they took time and it took a lot of energy and effort to make sure it was like that. You see what I'm saying? They built that over the years. No matter what they encountered, they built that, and they decided to stick with each other no matter what. And they just be chilling. Like, when you see them, they just be chilling. Like, it's a sense, the energy is like a sense of security. They not worried about shit because they are that confident that who they chose, that poison they chose, that's all them. They ain't going nowhere. So I know it's easier said than done. But at times when you falling out with your partner, or when things don't seem to be going as smooth as it normally would, despite how you feel at the moment, because we all have different levels of anger, and we all operate differently when it comes to anger and disappointment and shit like that. But Try to, the next time with you and your partner, try to first think about, how can we tackle this issue together? How can I handle this with my partner without making it seem like I'm against them and they're against me? Because a lot of times it's not that deep. And also try the next times, but y'all live together, or y'all take turns spending the night at each other's house, whatever it is. Get up and make the bed together. And just really pay attention to what I'm talking about. Don't even speak. Don't speak to each other. Just make the bed. And once y'all make the bed, see what that bed look like. And you will see, like, that chemistry that y'all have, it will allow you. The chemistry, if it's really all that strong, if it's really tight, like y'all say it is, if y'all making that bed together and you see that your partner, they side is crooked, guess what y'all chemistry is going to allow you to do? It's going to make you do. You might go over there and shit, straighten it out for them. Or they might have a little wrinkle on their side, and you might go over there and just smooth it out. Or maybe, one of the pillows that you called yourself setting up and fluffing out ain't set up the way like the other ones are on the other side. So your partner, guess what they gonna do? They gonna come around and they gonna be like, I'll put this one right here. As simple as it seems, y'all, I'm serious. Make the bed together and understand, y'all are a team. Y'all are not against each other. It's you versus the problem. It's y'all versus the problem. Don't forget that.